Okay, I am going to remind you how I want you to compare or order numbers. Now, there are a couple of things that you want to remember with this. When you are comparing numbers, remember we have a sign, sign, sign. You have to remember what these signs mean. And I'm pretty sure you're good at this one. This one means equal to. So you have to memorize these two. I gave you a trick. When you're trying to fill in the little bubble between numbers, you want the big open mouth to be pointing towards that big number. But how can you remember what this one exactly means? Well, if you tilt your head, that one kind of looks like a letter L. See how that looks like a L? And that is less. L stands for less. So that's the less than sign. When you see it all by itself, that one means less than, which means that one is greater than. The big mouth, bigger number, that helps when you're comparing. You're like, okay, which number's bigger, 41 or 76? Well, when I compare those two numbers, I'd rather have $41 or $76? 76 is bigger. So big mouth goes towards the big number. But how would I read that? 41 is less than 76. Is that a true statement? 41 is less than 76. Yeah, that is exactly true. That's how you use that in comparing numbers. Sometimes students ask me, but you tell me I always have to show my work. How do I show my work when I'm comparing numbers? It's the same thing I've been telling you to do. You need to make the house. How many rooms are in my unit's house? There are 3 rooms. Oh, I'm not sure why that's erasing. Let's try again. There we go. There are 3 rooms. Ones, tens, hundreds. So let's put these numbers in my house. We've got 41. I always fill in the ones first and go that way. 76. When we're going to compare numbers, we look at the numbers that are closest to the front of the house. So let's look at these numbers right here. 41, the 4, is it bigger or smaller than the 7? Well, 4 is smaller than 7, so this one is smaller. 41 is smaller than, is less than 76. That's how you can use your house to show your work. Does that make sense to you? All right. Oh, I don't want red. I want my eraser. Let's go ahead and get rid of that whole mess. So now, when I'm looking at how do I compare numbers like this, well, I'd have to decide, do I want to, what's that symbol? Less than, greater than, or equal to go in that box? Well, I'm going to look and I'm going to say, well, these are hard to compare. There are 4 digits in that one and 3 in that one. Let me go ahead, build my house. But how many houses do I need this time? 2. We've got the unit's house, and then next door we have the thousands house. Let's make our rooms, because we're pretty good at our rooms. Remember how we fill them in? Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. 1,000, 10,000s, 100,000s. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. It always goes on and on and on. Now, let's stick these numbers in. 7 goes in the ones. 1, 3, 1. 9, 6, 1. Okay, now let's go ahead and compare. If I look at these digits, well, we're in the ones, thousands. 1 is greater than nothing, right? There's nothing here. So this is bigger than that. So my big mouth faces my big number. 1,317 is greater than 169. Is that a true statement? It is. Last thing that I'm going to teach you on this, real quick. I said about ordering numbers. Okay, so lots of times test makers, they are a tricky crew. So what they do is they give you numbers that look a lot alike, but just have a tiny little difference. So remember, I tell you, they separate their list of numbers with these funny looking things called a semicolon. First, box your numbers so you know what you're looking at. Okay, these are the numbers I'm going to compare. Now I have to do what? I always have to build my houses. It's a good thing you have houses already made in your math folder. You could just use those. Let's label them. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. Units house and thousands house. Now let's go ahead and stick our numbers in. 7, 1, 3, 1. 3, 1, 7, 1. 7, 1, 1, 3. Now, in order to put these in order, there have to be directions. Am I putting them least to greatest or greatest to least? Well, this time, let's go ahead with greatest to least. So, when I look at which house, my front one, which one's the greatest? 3 is, because 3s are bigger than 1. So I'm going to put that one first, and I'm going to separate them with a semicolon. Now I have to decide here. 1s are the same, doesn't help me. So now I have to look. 3 or 7? I'm going greatest to least, so the next greatest one, well, that would be 7. 7 is bigger than 3. So 1, 7, 1, 3. Get rid of that, semicolon, and that leaves me that one. That's how you order numbers, greatest to least. Remember to pay attention to the directions. Is it greatest to least? Is it least to greatest? That matters. And you also have to remember, when you're just comparing numbers, the greater than or the less than symbol. The one that looks like an L always is read like less than. Understand that? Okay, I'm going to give you a job to do.